Hey everyone, my name is Sam. Thanks for checking out this video. If you get to the end, like the subscribe bell, YouTube stuff. It was not a great month for me saving money. I guess is a way we can put it. I did a little bit. I mean, some of these were pre-ordered, but I did go to the bookstore a few times to just buy books. And it also dawned on me the other day that, like, when you're like, oh wow, yeah, this is a lot of the books, this is also not including the audiobooks that I buy, which maybe I should start including those in the hauls too. I realized too why he keeps coming whenever I start talking near my phone. I think he thinks it's my mom. Because when we Skype and FaceTime, she goes, oh Sherlock, where's Sherlock? And he tries to find out where she is and he can't figure out the phone, but he knows it happens when the phone's around, so. You okay, man? You seeing, like, the Matrix or something? Alright. Anyways, the books that I accumulated in the... Do you see a ghost? There's nothing there, man. It's a wall. So, these are the books that I managed to accumulate in March, right? It's April. In the month of March. So this was one of my impulse buys, but I have been looking at it for just freaking forever, and my bookstore had a copy, which they never have books that I'm looking for normally in my bookstore. So I bought it, and I already read it actually. A Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick, which is actually 2 authors. I was pleasantly surprised by this book. It has a very, like, kind of mixed bag of reviews on Goodreads, but I spoke to someone I know who did, my god, I have hair everywhere. I can tell it's mine because it's pink. Anyways, someone was telling me, you know, it's good, but it's just not a lot of, like, high action. It's a lot of world building and crap, and I was like, that's fine. I've read the Outlander series. Like, I know what long books are like, and I read it, and I actually really like this. I can't wait for the sequel, but I absolutely agree. It is a lot of world building and political maneuvering and character and development. Lots of character development, and a relatively, like, large-ish cast as well. The plot changes, actually. I remember when we, like, I was like, I don't know, maybe a third of the way, and I was like, oh, this is interesting, and I knew where it was going, but I was like, how are they gonna make this, like, I don't know, 600 pages? But by the time of that, we'd had to have, like, 3 different changes in the plot of things happening. But the main character is pretending to be blood related to this family who has, it's like I'm trying to think of, like, what the proper word is, but this kingdom that has, you know, families of wealth and power and privilege with titles, but one of them, the one that this girl's pretending she is blood related to, is financially struggling right now. And there is this whole, like, mysterious entity going around causing problems and all this shit. And so it starts off with her being like, I just want to get into this family, and, like, explains how she kind of found out about the family and why she's specifically going after them. But it changes so much, just so much throughout the rest of the book. And because it is a longer book, but people, with new information revealed, everyone starts shifting. And then you're trying to figure out who this weird masked person is that's causing all this havoc in the background before this book even started, and then during this book. And it was really interesting, but it's definitely not like a high stakes running around adventuring across a fantasy realm. So that's just something to keep in mind. But I very much enjoyed this. It is paperback, so there's nothing on the underdust jacket. And it was really good, and I cannot wait for the sequel. This was book 1 of Rook and Rose, which is another reason I loved it, because when I hear the word rook, which I don't hear often in books, I think of The Rook by Daniel O'Malley, which is one of my favorite books. So, yay, huzzah! We'll definitely read the sequel whenever that comes out. And this is also animated cover, so it's got the Google Lens QR code on the back that it animates when you use your phone in the Google Lens app. So I actually did order these in advance, and they just took a while to get here. I got my UK copies of the blood print first 3 books. The 4th book comes out, I'm waiting for it in paperback so it matches these. It comes out, I already have it pre-ordered, I think in May or June. I can't be 100% sure off the top of my head. But I read book 1 of this series in audiobook form, and I really like the audiobook, but the North American covers fucking suck. So I got the UK ones. So I have read book 1. I didn't read books 2 or 3 yet. Pretty traditional, I think, for the most part, YA medievally fantasy. But I really liked it, despite, you know, sometimes those books not working for me. And despite the fact that this has like a not super good rating on Goodreads, didn't seem to matter. I really liked it. So paperbacks of book 1, and then book 2, and book 3, and book 4 is purple. So I love these crest shit. And then in North America, they were like, they look like a lot of like Steven Erikson books, which like, not paying for that. So I got the UK ones. Kind of an impulse buy, but also kind of not. I've been curious about this book since it got announced because it was everywhere as Shadow and Bone meets the Bear and the Nightingale, and I was like, what? Like, I got to the bookstore though and was like, I know it's the YA fantasy I haven't been loving those, and it's not like super, like there's no special like holographics, which why would you put like a rainbow faded background and not use holographic material on the cover? Come on, publishers. But then I was super concerned because it says Amy Ewing and Aaron A. Craig. I've never read Amy Ewing, but I haven't heard super good things about the books that my friends have read by that author. And Aaron A. Craig. I read one book, I think, and I did not like it. I don't even know if I actually finished it. But I figured I was gonna try it at least. So it's almost like a material, like an industrially metally material texture, but it's completely like matte basically. And then just a little bit of reflection on the titles, which, why wouldn't you use the holographic? Even, where's my Jane Unlimited book? Where the hell is my Jane Unlimited book? I know the material exists because they did it with this. Why didn't they do it with this? Look at the background. You can see a little bit holographic-y stuff. Why the fuck wasn't this? It's the same publisher too. They're both from Epic Reads. I know they can do it. Why didn't they do it? Anyways, the spine is white. And then Underdesk Jacket is kind of an indigo-y blue. And then the spine, it's white text there. After ordering it in December and being put on the wait list and then being given tracking that didn't seem to have worked, I did, however, get my book copy, physical copy of the Octunami. This went viral. I found it on TikTok and the video had like 3 million views or something of someone unpacking it. It's like an indie self-published sort of thing. I think this is the first book in what is set to be a series. Like it's a prequel with the world and everything like that. The edges come black. I think with shipping and stuff, this was like probably close to $50 Canadian. It is self-published and all that stuff, but the box it came in was really nice. It comes with a pronunciation guide as well. I believe there's also an app you can download, so it's a bit of like augmented reality too. But yeah, so the end pages, or the outside is sprayed. The back, it's a black matte base, but then all of the gold is little foily all on the spine there. And then you can see all the black like detail work is reflective-y as well. So it's beautiful. And then even the entire book, all the pages look like this. They're sprayed in a little bit on the edge, and they've got the artwork with like the clocks and everything. So I'm really excited to read this, and I think someone I follow on TikTok got it and did read it and said it was actually good. So I am very excited, and yeah, I'm very curious to read this, and I see the word vampires popping up a lot, so we'll see if it's any good when I do read it. I didn't have this pre-ordered because I technically don't own book 2 yet because my bookstore never freaking got it in stock, but my bookstore got book 1 and book 3 in stock. Can't explain. Indigo logic. But I got the paperback copy of Actor Age Eve Brown. This is another one. I actually read it at the end of March. I think it was my least favorite of the series, but it's just such a good, solid series, and the main character has some bomb ass hair, as you can tell there. And this book has autism. The main character, actually both the main characters have different varying degrees on the autism spectrum. And yeah, she has purple hair, which, respect, bitch. On my path to acquire at least one copy of all of the different Nevermore covers, I finally got my copy of the Finnish language edition. I now have the Finnish language, so I ordered this in October. It never showed up, so then they sent replacements, and then they sent me the wrong book for this one. They sent me book 2, but not book 1. Book 1, they sent me some random Finnish language classic I've never seen before. And then they refunded me because they said, I don't know what the fuck's going on. So I tried again and we got it. We got the book 1. So now I have Finnish, German, UK, and North American covers for this series. I got this book like 3 weeks early or something like that. My pre-order of The Accidental Apprentice Wild Lore by Amanda Foody. This is her middle grade debut work. It was pitched as Pokemon meets Nevermore, and I lost my damn mind, and I have been watching this ever since. So it's very short. I was gonna read it in April, but my friend reminded me we're doing middle grade May in the TBR and Beyond group, so I was like, just wait a month. So I will be reading this in May. I'm so excited though. It's a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. I don't know why I thought it was going to be a thicker bitch, but it's not. So anyways, it's all basically matte, and then the title is a little bit like, it looks like it's foiled with something on top of it to make it less shiny, a little bit closer to a matte finish still, you know? I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, and then there is your back. The end pages are just this white. And then the under dust jacket is blue with a green spine and gold foiling on it. Was The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. I was off and on interested in this book. I just keep hearing really positive things about it. And then I found out like in the last couple months that he's actually a Canadian Black author, and I had no idea. So I ended up buying it because my bookstore had the paperback copies of it finally, and book 2 has come out now. Or was it late 2020 actually, I think. But yeah, I am just really enjoying adult fantasies that have been really working for me when YA fantasies haven't. I wasn't totally sure if I was going to buy this, but then I was at the bookstore and I bought it. So I picked up my copy of Namesake. I own book 1, I read book 1, I liked book 1, so I was like, just buy it. Though they did announce after this came out, because I was like, just buy it, it's the end of a series, that there's going to be a 3rd book. I don't know if it's like a spin-off or whatever, but like the legacy of something in this realm or world or something like that. It's just plain matte everywhere. The text is a tiny bit lifted. You can probably see this greasy fingerprint showing up on camera. My bad, that's embarrassing. And then the back is pretty much the same, but the covers together kind of... Wait, where's my copy of Fable? I kind of like that they did this with the covers. So they go together like that. I like that. Though it bugs me because the 3rd book that they announced doesn't exactly go with this, so that's gonna bother me if I do end up buying it. Anyways, nothing on the end pages, and the under dust jacket is a bright blue with this like, it's like a brass rose gold almost compass thing on the front, as well as that is the cover color on the spine of the writing. I picked up, and I hope everyone else was picking up, copies of Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley. This is her debut work. It is getting nothing but utter praise, and Reese Witherspoon picked it as her YA April book, I think it is. I don't know if, is this Reese's like monthly or seasonal, like every spring and then winter? I don't know. Either way, this is the book that they're doing for that. So they did print the stupid Reese book sticker thing on the freaking cover. You can't even peel it off, which bothers me like immensely why they're doing that now, when we've literally always been like, stop putting the stupid peelable sticker on the book. We don't like that. And then they're like, okay, we'll print it on. Anyways, it's a glossy finish everywhere, and then all of like the reds have this, it's under like a gloss covering. It's a little bit bumpy, so they're like pressed into the material. I don't know what they put on top of it though, because it looks kind of like they foiled it and then put gloss on top of it or something like that. So it's very pretty, very pretty. And then the spine, and then our back. And I like that they hired an Indigenous artist to do this book. The cover is beautiful. Red end pages. And black under dust jacket with this flame kind of pressed into it. I don't know if it'll show up on camera there. And then the spine is red foil, and it's just a mystery with a mixed race Indigenous main character with everywhere it's been like native, Nancy Drew, Indigenous, Veronica Mars kind of comparisons. So I'm reading this in April. Hopefully I love it. Everyone seems to be. My pre-order came in of The Theft of Sunlight, and I'm trying to whisper because I get so overexcited about this. Anytime I talk about Thorn and then this, I just get so freaking excited. This is the sequel to Thorn, which is one of the best YA debuts I have ever read in my life. It is bonkers how good that book was. Again, despite the fact that I have not been liking YA fantasies for the last almost like 2 years because they're so repetitive, Thorn was so damn good. And this is the sequel, which I will be reading probably in May. Or maybe I pushed it to June because of middle grade May. sometime before the fall is when I'm going to read it. It's all plain matte printed though. It matches the first cover though. I'll get the first cover. So this is Thorn. And then they got the sequel, and I didn't realize until after I read Thorn, but this was like self-published or something like that before, and then they just like editing it up and giving it pretty new matching covers, so that's awesome for the author. Anyways, it's got red and pinks on the front and the back. The spine is orange. Don't know why they went with orange, because it's when it's all like just like a block like this, it looks orange. The front, it looks like gold. These little like touches that it's the same color as, but all together it looks orange on the spine. It looks weird. I don't like the orange on the spine. They should have maybe like, because there's a little bit of a pattern on the oranges here, like faded in the background, done something different to break that up. It just, no, I don't like that. But under dash jacket, or end pages, there's nothing there. Under dash jacket is a royal purple with a orangey gold foiled spine. I can't believe actually that this only came out this past month, because I feel like it came out forever ago, and I'm now like, well, when's the next book coming out? But that's on me, because I read the damn book the day it came out, to utterly no one's surprise, I think, or like the day before, after it came out. Anyways, An Unexpected Peril by Deanna Raybourn. This is the more recent release. I think it's book 6 in the Veronica Speedwell series, which you should all read if you follow this channel in any capacity. It is completely matte printed. Oops. And pages are white. Under dust jacket is white with a like a robin's egg blue spine and orangey gold foiling there. And now I just wait probably another year. She seems to be coming out almost like a year on the dot for the last Veronica Speedwell book, which that's gonna suck. I don't want this to end. So this doesn't technically come out until I think the 6th, which is probably when this video is going to be posted, but it was in my bookstore, so I thought I mixed up the dates. Because my bookstore doesn't normally ever get any books, let alone books before they come out. This is Martha Waters' new book, To Love and to Loathe, if you don't remember. So it's not a sequel, I guess, to Heaven to Hoax, but it's like kind of the same concept world, because I think this one sold pretty well. So they recovered this book actually after I bought it to be more like this. So I don't know if I'll buy it. I don't know. I don't hate this cover, to be honest, and they're not sequels, so I don't think it'll really bother me with them beside themselves on the thing. And the format isn't super off even on the spine, because they've both got a little person silhouette thing there, and the text is basically the same font. So I don't think it bothers me enough to spend $15 getting the new copy of this one. This one is perfectly fine, and I love this book. But yeah, this is To Love and to Loathe. It is matte finished except for the frame, oops, and the title of it. Everything else is very matte based, very muted colors, like Easter pastel-y vibes, and yeah, it's a paperback, so there's nothing to show underneath. I also got an ARC of Made in Korea by Sarah Suk, and it says on the back, pronounced like soup with a K. And it's a YA contemporary set in a high school. Main character is running like a Korean Asian skincare business or something. I don't know if like from her locker what the situation is, but that was always frowned upon at my school, to run any business out of your locker, though that probably could have been because kids were being sketchy with what they were selling. But then she's using the money to, like, I don't know, try and travel to Paris after school or something like that, and then a boy shows up and he's trying to make money and goes into beauty industry, becomes her competitor, and I'm gonna imagine a budding romance appears. So it's this like Robin's egg blue, man. That color's coming back. Then I honestly, we're reading it in the TBR and Beyond group this month, and it was Indigo's pick of the month, so it was on sale for a few dollars off. So it felt stupid to not buy it, so I did. I bought a copy of The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. I also just heard like nothing but really positive reviews about this book, though I say that and I'm always like, well, then I'll love it, but that's everyone praised The Cruel Prince, and I didn't understand that. So it's all completely like matte printed, and then the text is a little bit lifted with a little bit of reflection. I don't know if it'll show up on camera though. And the spine is a yellow with a green that is deepening ombre-ing. And then there is our back. Then the end pages are black, and then the under dash jacket is plain black with nothing on it, which seems like poorly designed, lazy a little bit, considering the fact that they pushed this book like a year's release date to try and have it not when COVID was starting, because I think they were trying to do a big promo tour. So it feels weird that they would push this and make it the book of the month pick for Indigo and then do nothing with this. And honestly, it didn't do a whole lot. Like, this cover design is beautiful. Why isn't all the gold reflective? I would literally, like, just love, honestly, I'd say for free, but I know how much publishers charge for books, so I'd do it for a charge. Just have them show me a book and be like, what's it missing? And I could yell at them about just at least one thing every single time. But I am reading this in April, so hopefully I love it. And I think the last physical book that I bought in March was my pre-order copy of Rule of Wolves. This was a pre-order. I knew I was buying it. I own King of Scars. I've been waiting for this to come out before I picked up King of Scars because everyone was saying we don't know when this was coming out right after King of Scars came out, so I didn't touch it. And now Shadow and Bone is coming out, so I am caught up on everything else except for the Nikolai saga, which I know is not going to be in the Shadow and Bone series, at least the first season, but whatever, then I'll be caught up and feel accomplished. Okay, so this is like a glitter, it's matte-ish, no, it's not matte, I don't know what this material is, it's like metallic-y glitter texture, and it maybe kind of looks white, but it's definitely like a dirty cream kind of color, and then there's like browns and deep reds everywhere to emphasize all of the designs. This is lifted, all of this stuff is lifted like a tiny bit, but it's not, doesn't feel like it was like, I don't know, there's some books where you're like, oh god, did you brand the paper? Like, because it's a deep thing, but no. But you can still feel all the texture and everything. It's a beast size of a book too, my goodness. End pages are this black, white, silver. There's no glitter or anything like that. It's completely matte, but it's not very pretty. And then the under dust jacket, bam! We got a dark red burgundy with like the silver crest designs and everything like that. It's very pretty, very pretty. And the back is nothing there. I don't know why publishers always don't do something on the back, as if we're gonna look underneath, we're gonna look underneath, right? Like, I don't understand that. Anyways, it's beautiful. And I cannot wait to read this. I'm so freaking excited. My Grisha, like, I've always loved Grisha. It got me back into pleasure reading. But, like, I think it, like, I don't know, like I said, my reading tastes have changed an awful lot in the past few years. So I was like, honestly, I was kind of a little afraid that by the time it did get adapted, if it got adapted, I was going to be kind of like, I'm through that phase of my life. But honestly, nah, bitch. I reread it and just fell in love with Nikolai this time. So, like, just even more excited for this shit now. Anyways, those are the books that I managed to accumulate in the month of March because I have no self-control and adult money. So, and by adult money, I mean not enough money to save for a house because of student loans, but enough to buy stupid shit that I don't need, but I want. Anyways, those are the books I managed to accumulate. I will put them in the description box with a link to the Goodreads page, along with all of my social media. If you follow me, I'll follow you back, unless you have a super sketch account. And, stay safe, stay inside when you need to, wear a mask, get a vaccine if you can. I can't because I'm apparently not fat enough to have a BMI high enough to qualify for anything, but I'm too fat for breast reduction surgery, so that's working for me. And yeah, what did you buy this month? So I'm not alone in buying books that I probably didn't need, but I really wanted. So that's it. I'll see you next Tuesday.